I'm not saying it's your fault.
There's only Joshua left of my era. That's it. And you couldn't make him fight me if he's going to give him 60 million.
Usyk and Joyce all pose interesting questions.
They're not my era. Usyk and Joyce are not my era. They come from a different era. They were still changing nappies when I was a champion. I was world heavyweight champion while they were boxing for a plastic cup. So they come from a different era.
Either way, I think it adds to your legacy. And when you talk about legacy,
but one thing that you underestimate, my friend, is I don't give one damn about legacy.
You talk about it a fair bit, though, right? You talk about being the greatest ever a lot.
I don't talk about that at all. Because when I'm finished from boxing, do you know what? I don't care about what people think about me, or how many belts I won, or what fights didn't happen. It's no interest. You go back to all the press conferences and see. No interest in legacy, no interest in being remembered, no interest in belts. Check it out.
I have heard you say this before, but I've also heard you say, I'm the greatest of all time, many, many times. And to me, if that's not of interest of you, why say it?
Because I am. I'd beat any man born from his mother.
But you haven't proven that, is my point.
You can't prove it, because you can't go back in time and fight all the greats. You can only beat whoever's in front of you. And that's it.
Okay, well, I think...
what is it you're getting at here, anyway?
What I'm getting at is... I think the Chisora fight is you're charging the Great British public hard-earned money to watch this on pay-per-view, and when you've already beaten him twice and he's shown that he isn't nowhere near
Deontay Wilder twice, and people still paid for it.
I think Deontay Wilder is of a much more dangerous fight, hence why he put you down multiple times, whereas Chisora, he ain't going to put you down if he's in there with a hammer with you.
What it do is 903 Boxing. I'm your host, George J. Say, that motherfucker said, Derek Chisora, he wouldn't put you down with a hammer if he had it. Hey, that motherfucker shut Fury ass up. Look, ain't no introduction. I'm jumping straight to the shit. Hey, yeah, Fury, I keep noticing that, and I had been noticing, and I'm glad. Let me tell you something. Ain't nothing like when your own check you. See, this is it's a good moment for black folks, black fans. Yeah, ain't nothing like when your own folks check you, because now we can stop with the bullshit. To all the black folks that's delusional and just don't want to believe it, his own people are questioning him now. His biggest fan, this dude Gordy, got over 2 million subscribers. He said it. He said, Fury, you one of my favorite fighters. So his own fans are questioning him. And I think the most telling thing in this whole interview, when you talk about a fighter, it comes with legacy. It comes with wanting to be the best, wanting to prove you the best. Fury said something I've never heard him say. Fury said, I don't care about... Let me tell you something about Fury. When that prosecutor started questioning him about Kenny, I noticed what triggers Fury. When you make him mad, he tells it on himself. When you make him mad and nervous, when you ask him questions over and over and you kind of cut him off and ask him something else, he can't take it. I'm telling you, if he had kept pressuring him, he would have said some shit about them gloves. He would have told you his dope connect. He would have told Gordy all kind of shit. If Gordy had just kept pressing him a little bit harder, he'd have gave up his plug. He'd have gave up everything. He'd have told you Nicholas Asbury was telling the truth. He'd have told you everything. That motherfucker, I'm telling you, and in true Dauphin fashion, because when you question the Dauphin too much, they get nervous and they twitch and his eyes get bucked. So, yeah, he gonna give it up. Yeah, he said he don't care about legacy. He said he ain't in this shit for no legacy. He don't give a damn about that. And he don't give a damn about, and I think that tells a lot about his character. I told you, Fury's a gypsy. And at this point, his own countrymen, they don't fuck with him. I noticed it's only been the Americans that haven't been really questioning this fight. This is one of the most ridiculous fights you could ever ask for. Chisora haven't, he's lost, 7 out of 8 out of the last 15 fights. And he keep talking about who he fought, but... And the names he got, those are names, but he lost to all of them. He lost to Joseph Parker. He lost to Dillian White. And another thing about you, Gypsy Fury, Fatback Fury, I'm gonna tell you something. Every time you talk about how great you are, you always bring up Wilder. That's the one fighter you bring up. But since you fought Wilder, you fought Dillian White, which is downwards. That's digressing. Dillian White been knocked out multiple times. Dillian White, that's not a step up fight from Wilder. So if you went downward from Dillian, and you even Chisora, that's even more downward from Dillian. I mean, you're going downward, and it's like your fans see it, bro. Like they see the games you're playing. And I like what Gordy said. He said, he basically told him, bro, I don't think it's right how you're charging the fans this amount. You might get into a pay-per-view fight, bro. And he said, I don't think that's right. And he said, we'd rather see you in there with Joyce or Usyk and this and that. And so basically, his fans are putting his feet to the fire. And I know we caught up in Bud and Spence, and we caught up in all that. And I know a lot of people think Bud wrong. A lot of people think Spence wrong. But one thing I know about both of them, they ain't gonna put no shit in their gloves. Now, I don't think neither one of them are dirty fighters. I don't think one of them would try to kill one of them in the ring and do some dirty shit like that and try to fuck up their life. Nah, I don't think, and none of them do dope. Nah, so this some way more serious shit. You know, I wish we jump on this shit. Yeah, I wish we, I really do. I wish we jump on this shit and yeah, make this shit viral. Like I said, man, Fury is so desperate at this point, and I told y'all in my last video, Fury taking a lot of these dope fiend fights because of, I said dope fiend. Yeah, he's taking a lot of these dope fiend fights because yeah, he owe a lot of money to different people. Fury has fucked up a lot of his money, and he's a dope fiend, so he's always making deals. He's gambling. He's fucking up. He's not good at spending his money, so he owes a lot of fights. You may see Fury fight for 4 more years. Yeah, he owe a lot of money. Bob mad at him. He got to fulfill a lot of shit. And when you tied in with all these different mobsters, I don't know, man. Fury may want to be one of them tragic cases in boxing. Yeah, you may see him behind a dump. They may find him behind a dumpster, bleeding everywhere and all kind of shit. Because when you're a dope fiend and you're dealing with mob bosses, it's only a matter of time. It's gonna catch up with you. And that shit with them mob boss, that's a lifetime contract, pimping. You can't get out of that shit. You got to do what they say. So at this point, Fury, Fatback Fury, your stock is plummeting. The UKs, they're not fucking with you, bro. And you keep saying how you sold out and the tickets are already sold out. Everybody I've seen talking in the UK, they not happy about this fight, bro. They not excited about this shit. This ain't no exciting shit. So like I said, since you fought White and everybody, and to all y'all that say he's such the greatest, that's like Spence beating Crawford and going back and fighting Sean Porter and Danny and some shit like that. And those are more formidable opponents than Chisora because they still kind of young. Chisora's about 40 something. Yeah, he about 40 something. So yeah, that and the world would shit on Spence if he was to do that. The world would shit on Bud if he was to beat Spence and go back and fight a Gamboa or some shit. Yeah, that's a quick. Yeah, Fury fighting Chisora is like Bud beating Spence and going back and fighting Gamboa. Yeah, that's some shit like that. That's the type of shit we dealing with. So, black folks, I know you're very judgmental. So I just wish we'd be a little bit more judgmental about old Fatback Fury and admit that, yeah, the Roosters are coming to goddamn roast. It's 903 Boxing. I am your host, Charles J. With that, I'm out.